Hi everybody, JG Pastor Jack here from Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. We're going to talk today about helmets. Now if there's one thing that binds all of us together as enthusiasts of automotive sports, and that is whether you're autocrossing at a high school parking lot, whether you're racing at Le Mans, you got to have the proper helmet for the venue you are competing in. One of the most common questions we get is, what is the right helmet for me? Let's talk about a few ways that you can maximize your helmet spending dollar. It's one of the most important, one of the most expensive personal safety investments you're ever going to make. So let's talk about a few of the common questions that we get from folks about helmets. Now the first question we get is, how much helmet do I need? Now generally, this question is going to be decided for you by the sanctioning body you choose. Every helmet has a safety rating. In the US, we're mostly concerned with the Snell rating of helmets. Most of the major US sanctioning bodies are going to refer to a Snell rating on the helmets. And if you're talking about time trials, road racing, not necessarily autocross, but time trials, road racing, any high-speed event, that's going to be an SA rating. It's a special application rating, and that rating is divided up by years. Every 5 years, a new standard of Snell ratings comes out. So 2010, 2015, 2020, 2025. The 2020 Snell rating just came out. Those helmets will generally be legal for most sanctioning bodies through 2 cycles of that 5-year period. So if you have a SA 2015 helmet, that'll be legal beginning in 2015 when they come out, through the 2015 to 2020 cycle, and then also through the 2020 to 2025 cycle. After that helmet's gone through 2 cycles, many sanctioning bodies will drop those off of the list and require you to have a helmet that is essentially less than 10 years old or less than 2 cycles old. So first thing you want to look at is safety rating. And beyond that, you're mostly looking at construction and features. For example, this Simpson Voyager right here, one of the most affordable helmets in Simpson's lineup, under $400, has the most current safety rating. This is a, I believe this one we have right here is, yeah, this is an SA 2015 helmet. So this helmet's going to be good for the next 5 years. Now, in my experience, most helmets will tend to wear out before they age out. Helmets, they're on your stank, sweaty head for a long time, so they tend to be treated pretty hard. So it's very rare that I've actually had a helmet last until it aged out of the safety rating. But we'll talk about a few ways to make those helmets last as long as we can in just a few minutes. So, like I say, generally what you need is going to be decided by the safety ratings. If you're racing overseas, if you're racing in say Europe, you're probably going to be more concerned with FIA ratings, which is what the rest of the world uses. This Stilo ST5 Carbon Zero right here actually has the most current FIA rating, brand new FIA rating. Let me read this off the box so I actually make sure it's right here. Yeah, FIA spec 8860-2018. It's actually the only helmet currently on the market as of October 2019 with that rating, but that is the most current of all of the FIA ratings, and it also carries Snell certification as well. So there's literally nothing you cannot do with that helmet. Any sanctioning body in the world is going to allow that helmet in there. Now, here's a little secret. If you don't plan to race in Europe, you're not really concerned with that FIA rating. Many manufacturers build their SA helmets and their FIA spec helmets to exactly the same specs. They just might not go through the extra hassle, the extra expense to get that FIA certification on some helmets. So you're never skimping in safety to not buy an FIA helmet, because those safety standards are set by all those worldwide bodies. So whatever helmet you buy with those safety standards, you are getting the safety. Now, the features are where things begin to differ, but you can still get some great features at a budget price. The Simpson Voyager, for example, comes with stuff like pre-drilled and tapped hard points for Hans or another head and neck safety mounts. Comes with some flow-through ventilation. Shield came with a nice bag. So you actually get some really, really cool features even at the budget price. One of my favorite things that this helmet comes with is it even comes with some alternate cheek pads, which the next most common question we get is, how do I find a helmet that I know is going to fit me? Well, one of the best ways to find a helmet that fits you is to find a helmet that has some alternate, I guess you would call it software inside to let you custom fit that helmet to your head. Actually, both this Carbon Bandit and this Voyager, as well as both the Stilo ST5 models, come with a lot of optional pieces inside that let you custom fit it to your head. Now, you might talk to people who tell you like, oh, you know, certain brands of helmets fit certain shaped faces better. If you have a round head or an oval head or a square head, you want this brand over this brand. And I'm going to tell you folks, the real answer is to find a helmet that fits properly, try that helmet on. And I know it's more of a hassle than just listening to some dumb fat guy on the internet tell you what's what. But this is an important investment. This is not a cheap investment. So find a way to try that helmet on. Now that can be a couple of different ways. You can maybe go to an SCCA race, a NASA race, an AER race, where there are vendors present that have a bunch of helmets you can physically touch and feel and try on. Or you can find an online retailer that has a generous return policy, and many online safety retailers will actually let you purchase, try on, test fit, and then return a helmet within a certain time window, as long as you don't, you know, do a bunch of baloney sneezes inside there. But they will let you return those helmets. So work with those retailers on finding the right fit. And that's, there's no other secrets other than, you know, find a helmet you can customize and find a retailer who will work with you, because it's a very, you know, tight fit in there. You gotta get that fit right. And also, one more piece of advice: if you're going to go to an event where there's a vendor present that's got a bunch of helmets lined up there, and you're trying them all on, and you find ones you like, buy the helmet from that vendor. Don't go home and order it off of Amazon for $10 cheaper or off of eBay or something. Don't be a D-bag. Like, consider maybe if that vendor is a little bit more expensive than, you know, some no-name online retailer that you've never heard of, it's because you got the privilege of trying all those helmets on and spend the extra $10 because they let you do that. So yeah, please support the people that support this sport. So that's, yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but to find a helmet that fits you, you gotta try them on, figure out a way to do that, find a retailer who will work with you, find a vendor. You won't regret it. Okay, so once you bought that helmet, how do I make it last forever? Biggest tip I can give you here is keep it dry inside. The number one enemy of a helmet is going to be your dirty, sweaty, stank ass head. So wear a balaclava all the time. Balaclavas are cheap. Buy 2 of them. Keep 2 of them at the track. Keep them dry. Pull a fresh one on before each session. Let the other one sit there and dry a little bit longer. Keep the inside of that helmet dry. At the end of the weekend, don't rip that helmet off your sweaty head. Stuff it in a helmet bag. Zip up that helmet bag. Throw that in your gear bag. Zip that gear bag up. Throw that gear bag in a hot trailer. Drive it home. Park it in your backyard, not open it for 3 weeks. That is the surest way to kill a helmet. You will have a complete ecosystem existing inside that helmet the next time you open it. Keep the inside of that helmet clean and dry. As soon as my helmet comes home, it actually sits on this helmet dryer right here. Now, this is a Shock Doctor helmet dryer. I don't even think they're in business anymore. I've had this thing forever, but there's plenty of great brands out there of helmet dryers. This one also dries gloves and shoes. It forces hot air and ozone up into the helmet. Worth the investment. I've actually noticed since I've been using this thing religiously, my helmets have lasted longer. They've been fresher when I put them on. I don't get that like, ugh, God, is that me that's making this smell in here? Oh, when I pull them on. So yeah, this is not a cheap investment, a helmet. So protect that investment by keeping the inside dry. If you don't want to make the investment in a helmet dryer, find a place in your house where you can leave that helmet out of the bag for as long as possible. And if you get to a point where you need to clean the inside of the helmet, hopefully you have a helmet with removable liners inside. A lot of the higher end helmets, when you spend a little more for a helmet, you tend to get removable liners. You can pull them out. You can hand wash them in a very, very mild detergent, something that's safe for, you know, wool sensitive fabrics. Hand wash them, let them dry completely before you put it back together. Moisture is the enemy of the inside of your helmet. The other enemy of your helmet is damage. Now remember that a helmet is a one-time use implement. It is not something that can take, it's not designed to take multiple impacts, multiple traumas. It is a one-time use deal. And whether that one-time use is your head hitting the roll bar as you flip end over end down the front straight at Daytona, or the helmet falling off a shelf and hitting your concrete floor, that one time is over. Now, in the case of very minor damage, sometimes you can send the helmet back to the manufacturer, they will inspect it, and they will not really recertify it, but they might be able to tell you, yes, we find no additional damage to this, you're probably fine. But again, this helmet is designed to destroy itself to protect your head. So make sure you do not put it in a position to destroy itself before it is allowed to do the job of protecting your head. So as you climb the ladder in price, two things are going to happen. You're going to get more features inside the helmet, and you're going to get lighter construction of the helmet available to you. For example, you go from about a $400 helmet, $369 or something for this Simpson Voyager. Fantastic helmet, legal for everything, but not a ton of features included. Go to something like a Stilo ST5 like this. It's about a mid $900 helmet. A lot of very cool features on here that you definitely see where your money is being spent. Stuff like molded in bosses for radio, drink attachments. Stuff like pre-cut foam in here for a radio hookup. It's actually been rigged so you can just install a radio very easily in there. Little touches, which is cool stuff that I really dig, like this extra tab on the front shield that actually snaps down onto the chin bar and provides just a nice piece of material here for you to use with gloves on, especially if you're wearing very thick gloves in a road race situation. Working the mechanicals on a helmet visor is not always the easiest thing in the world. So just a nice little detail touch that lets you work that a lot easier and provides a very positive locking once you finally put that down. And then room to expand. This Stilo ST5 has some vent holes in the top that not only provide ventilation just as they sit, but also you can adapt a forced air cooling to the top of this. So you actually have some availability to upgrade this helmet in addition to the features it comes with. Other big thing you find as you sort of move up the ladder is you can get into different constructions that are a lot lighter. Composite helmet, carbon fiber helmet, composite helmet, carbon fiber helmet. Carbon fiber helmet's considerably more expensive. This Stilo ST50 is like a $5,000 helmet right now. Of course, it's the only one in the world with the current FIA specification. But let's throw them on the scale here, and I'll show you just how much of a difference that carbon fiber construction makes. This Stilo composite helmet, 3 pounds, 6 ounces for the composite construction. Now, same size, nearly identical sort of shape and architecture, but in carbon fiber, 2 pounds, 12 ounces. So that's a 10-ounce difference. That's like almost 30% difference of the weight of the helmet. Now, 10 ounces doesn't sound like much, but when it's pressing on your neck at 1.5 Gs for an hour and a half, for 2 hours, maybe you're driving a Formula car, maybe it's pressing on your neck at 2 Gs, at 10 ounces is going to be a big deal after a while. So do not discount the import or the impact on fatigue that lighter materials can make. And if you're somebody that spends a long time in the car, you do a lot of endurance racing, or you're somebody that has a particularly high G capable car, like a Formula car or sports racer, you might want to seriously consider looking at some of these lighter weight carbon fiber construction helmets. So those are some of our tips for how to get the most out of your helmet buying dollar. Again, if I send you away with one piece of advice from this entire thing, it is remember that your helmet is not just an item, it is a system. It is a complete system designed to protect your head, which is pretty much the only thing on your body that you can't live without for very long. So this is not really a place to skimp. I'm never going to tell you to skimp on safety gear. I'm especially not going to tell you to skimp on the thing that protects your head. I'm also going to tell you to treat it as a system, not just as an item. So true story. I was in grid at an autocross one time. I pulled up to grid, went to hook my head and neck support onto the supports on my helmet, and one of the supports on my helmet was not there. I had taken it off. I was messing with the helmet like a month before the event. Left the post off my helmet, so I'm like panicking. I can't go out on track, and so luckily I found the thing in my bag. But a 5-minute check 2 days before the event would have showed me that. So treat your helmet like any other system in your car. You do a pre-race check of your brakes, of your fire system. Treat your helmet exactly like that. It is a system. There are multiple pieces here designed to work in concert, not only with what's here, but with other things that you are wearing for safety. So do all of your standard pre and post race checks with your helmet, just like you would do any other piece of your car. All right, folks, I hope this helped out a little bit. Thanks very much to the folks from Stilo and Simpson for giving us some nice head candy to show you here. And you can check us out at grassrootsmotorsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to our feed. You get info about when we post new videos up. And we will see you again. I'm JG Pasterjack. Thanks for watching all of our content here from Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. Bye, everybody.